Good morning, welcome to day 3. So let's have a little starter before we start the maths. 3 times 4 times 9. Everybody should have a rough idea on how to do this. We have done it quite a lot. So pause the video and have a go. Okay, so firstly, 3 times 4 is 12. We can now times 12 by 9. So 12 times 9 is 108. Easy peasy. Here's another question for you to have a go at on your own. Six times 6 times 2. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, so 6 times 6 is 36. And then we take 36 and times it by 2. I know that 2 times 6 is 12. And 2 times 30 is 60. So 60, add the 12, equals 72. We will do one final question. Five times 3 times 4. Have a go, pause the video. Okay, so 15 times 3. That's given away the answer. 5 times 3 is 15. And 15 times 4, Alexa, stop. 15 times 4. 4 times 5 is 20. And 4 times 10 is 40. So 40 add the 20 is 60. Okay, let's move on with our actual learning for today. Right then, let's get started. We're going to have a little refresh of what we did yesterday to make sure that we can remember exactly what we are doing. So, as you can see, there is a green cross over here and a red cross here. So the first thing I would like you to do is write down the coordinates of the green and the red cross. Then, I would like you to plot the coordinate 0, -4, and I'd like you to plot the coordinate -3, -7. Have a go at thinking where it would be. And then finally, I'd like you to think about which quadrants all of these points are in. So you'll have the red point, the green point, and the 2 points that you do here. Which quadrants are they in? Pause the video and have a think now. Right then, we go along the x-axis and we get to 8. If we go up the y-axis, we get to 7, which tells us that our coordinates for the green cross are 8, 7. Then if we look at the red cross, now this can be quite tricky because again it's on the actual axis. So firstly we go along the x-axis. So if we go all the way along we get to -6, and then if we go up or down the y-axis we actually don't go anywhere. It's sitting on the line. So it is -6 along the x-axis, and it still remains on 0. So the answer for the red cross is -6, 0. Plotting the coordinates 0, -4. For 0, -4, 0 is our x-axis, so we're not actually moving, we're staying on the line, and then we have -4, so we're going to go down the y-axis, and we end up about here. For -3, -7, we're going to go along the x-axis to the left to -3, and then we're going to go down the y-axis until we get to -7. So we have -3, -7, and our point should be there. If you got those correct, well done. As always, you're a superstar. Right then, on with the show. So today our learning objective is translations. So translations in maths means to move. So if I have a point on this first quadrant here, have a go really quickly, work out the coordinates for that point. Okay, so hopefully you've worked out that that was 2, 6. So 2 along the x-axis and 6 on the y-axis. I'm going to move that point. So from here, I'm going to move that point along and down and place it there. Translation is moving. So we've moved 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces along the x-axis and 1, 2, 3 spaces down the y-axis. I'm going to place another point on this grid. Let's go with 2, 3. So we have 2, 3, and I'm going to move it from here. Pause the video and have a think about what translation has just taken place. Okay, so hopefully you've worked out that it has moved 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right and 1, 2, 3 spaces up. So if I place 3 points in our first quadrant, I'll place the blue cross there, I'll place the red cross there, and then I'll place the green cross over here. I would like you to have a think about the translations that have taken place from blue to red and then red to green. So, can you describe the translations? Blue to red, how many spaces right has it gone and how many spaces down has it gone? And then red to green, how many spaces left has it moved and how many spaces down has it moved? Pause the video and have a go now. Okay, so let's have a look at these. The blue cross moving to the red cross, so this point to this point. We move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces to the right, and then we move 1, 2 spaces down. Which means the translation that has taken place from this point to this point is 5 spaces right and 2 spaces down. Then we're going to look at the red and green points. So to move from red to green, we have moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces to the left, and we have moved 1, 2, 3 spaces down. So our translation for the red point to the green point is 5 left, 3 down. If you got this correct, well done. Okay, let's have another go, but this time I'm not going to give you any help like this. It's going to be completely down to you. So, to rearrange these points. Okay, so I'd like you to work out the translation of the blue point to the green point, so from blue to green, then the green point to the red point, green to red, and finally the red point back to the blue point, so red back to blue. Pause the video and have a go now. Right, so let's go over those answers. From our blue point to our green point, we move 1, 2, 3 to the right, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. From the from the green point to the red point, we move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points to the left, and then we move 1 down. And then finally from our red point back to our blue point, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up, and then we move 1, 2 to the right. Congratulations if you got them all correct. You're all superstars. Right then, so we're going to translate a shape, which just means we're going to move it. When we move a shape with translation, the shape will not change size and it will not rotate. It will look exactly the same as it does here, but somewhere else. So, we can do this by moving each vertex one at a time. So if I place some X's on each vertex, we will work to translate this shape. So if we start with the orange point here, we're going to translate the rectangle 1 left and 5 down. So we're going to move this point 1 to the left and 5 down. 1 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. And that's our first vertex moved. If we go to the blue one, we're going to do exactly the same. 1 left and 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the red one. 1 left, 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And finally our green one. 1 left and 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we place the same shape over the top of those points, you should see that it looks exactly the same. It has just moved. So we've gone 1 left and 5 down. And as you can see, these vertices still create the same shape that was up here. We have simply translated it along and down. Right, so here we have two triangles, triangle A and triangle B. Triangle A has been translated from its position here into its position here. Can you think about what the translation is? If we choose one vertex, so I'm going to choose this vertex here, we can see that the corresponding vertex is here, as is this and this vertex and this vertex. So we can work out the translation by working out simply where one corresponding point has moved. So if we focus on this one, we can see that it has moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces to the right, and then it has moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spaces down. That tells me that the translation is 6 to the right and 10 down. Each vertex on these triangles will have the same translation. So this one will go 6 to the right, 10 down, and this one will go 6 to the right and 10 down. If you choose one vertex, you shouldn't need to check the other ones, but let's just prove it. 6 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Correct. 6 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So as you can see, each vertex will translate the same amount when you are translating a shape. Right then, Milo is back and he claims that he has translated this shape 4 to the left and 4 down. So this was his original shape and he claims that he's translated it over here. If we have a look at one of the vertices, we will see if he's done it correct. So I'm going to focus on this one. I'm going to translate it 4 to the left and 4 down. You have a go first. Do you think he's done it correct? Okay, so let's think. 4 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that would put my new coordinate here. So I'm not convinced he's done this correctly. Let's try one of the other vertices. If I choose this vertex here, we can move 4 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, now we've got one which he has got on his new shape. But is that the corresponding vertex? It's not. The corresponding vertex for this is here, which shows me that he's actually translated it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 down. So Milo has made a mistake. Make sure when you're doing your translations that you always translate to the correct corresponding vertex. So, this shape has been translated. The coordinates of the new shape are 5, 4, 7, 4 and 6, 6. So this is our original shape here. And we have a new shape somewhere in this quadrant. And these coordinates tell us where that shape is. Can you use those coordinates to find out what the translation is and describe it? Pause the video and have a think. Okay, so let's plot out these new coordinates. If we start with 5, 4, we go 5 and 4. So there's our first point. 7, 4. We can go along to 7 and up 4. There's our second point. And our final point, 6, 6. So go along to 6 and up 6. So we can see that our triangle has translated from here to here. How would you describe that? Have a think and pause the video now. Right, so let's have a look at our original coordinates. These are the original coordinates we had. Our triangle was at 2, 2, 4, 2 and 3, 4. And it has now moved to 5, 4, 7, 4, 6, 6. Can you notice any patterns between these coordinates? I can see that the x-axis has gone up by 3. It has increased by 3 from 2 to 5. The x-axis on the next coordinate has also increased by 3 from 4 to 7. And our x-axis on the final coordinate again has increased by 3 from 3 to 6. That tells me that the shape has translated 3 to the right. If we look at the y coordinates, there is also another pattern. I can see that the 2 has increased from 2 to 4, which has increased by 2. The 2 here has again increased from 2 to 4, which is an increase of 2. And finally, the 4 has increased from 4 to 6, another increase of 2, telling me that that shape has moved up the y-axis by 2. Okay, so because we know that the x-axis has increased by 3 each time and the y-axis has increased by 2 each time, we can easily say that the translation is 3 to the right and 2 up. Right then, you are ready to start doing your worksheets for today. So, like before, there is worksheet 1 and worksheet 2. I would expect everybody to be able to have a go at this. And then there is also challenge 1 and challenge 2. If you find these worksheets incredibly easy, I would go straight to challenge 2 afterwards. If you found them slightly tricky, then I would go to challenge 1. When you have finished your work, please make sure that you send it to the correct email address as well. Do not send the work to my email address or Mr. Cook's email address. There is an email address on the Year 6 webpage for all the work to go to. Thank you, enjoy your work, and I'll see you in literacy.